So there was once a girl named Aaliyah. She was born in a really bad neighborhood, and her parents really didn't have much to give her. However, they saw that she wanted to become a lawyer, and they gave her a game plan into how she can get into law school. By following her parents' game plan, she was able to go on to law school, become a lawyer, and escape poverty. She was able to do so because she had a plan and she followed it. It's important to have a plan in whatever you do, and when it comes to law school, knowing how to get into it gives you another option in life. And it's very important for me to know how to get into law school because that's what I want to go on to do. So the three important factors that you need to focus on when getting into law school is your LSAT score, your GPA, and your personal background. By focusing on these three factors, you will be able to build a good law school admissions package and get into the law school you're choosing. So the first and most important factor of getting into a good law school is your LSAT score. Your LSAT score is supposed to determine how well you're likely to do in law school. They administer this test about 4 times a year, and most people prepare months and months in advance. It's that important. Ways you can prepare for this is by hiring a professional tutor, going to classes, or by self-study. Either way, it takes a lot of preparation to get the good score, and the scores range between 0 and 180, and most law schools, most of the top 10 law schools won't accept anything below 170, and a majority of the good law schools won't accept anything below 160. And just to give you a good idea, most people score about 150. So you really need to study to get ahead of that curve. The second most important factor is your GPA. Most of you know what a GPA is, but what's key to know here is how much your GPA plays into the law school admissions process. Your GPA isn't as important as the LSAT score, but it's pretty close. So you still want a high GPA, which is a 4.0, but you can get away with anything above a 3.5. So the lower your GPA is from a 4.0, the higher your LSAT score needs to be in order to compensate for it. A lower GPA won't necessarily eliminate you from some schools, but you really will need a good LSAT score to compensate for the lack of a GPA. The best way to get a good GPA is to take a major you're actually interested in, so you can put in the time and effort it takes to getting the good GPA. There's really no way around it. And the third and least important factor that goes into your LSAT admissions is your personal background. Now, your personal background really won't make or break your entry into a school, besides when there's a tiebreaker. So when you're on paper and you're being compared with a bunch of other people with the same exact LSAT score and GPAs as you, your personal background can now come into play. However, a good personal background cannot trump a bad GPA or LSAT score. So your personal background is things like your things you've done in the community, your career background, a story like your ethnicity, where you come from. All these stories and experiences play a role into building a good personal background. So you don't want to put too much time into building a personal background. However, it can help you in a tiebreaker situation. So in conclusion, these are the 3 most important factors that go into your law school admissions. You need to focus on having a good LSAT score, mostly, GPA secondly, and then also a personal background can help you out as well. So now you can revisit how Aaliyah was able to follow a concrete plan and focus her energies on these 3 factors. And by doing that, she was able to transform her life. And if you follow these tips that I've given you, you will be able to transform your life as well. Thank you.